GSL.
And we're back. We're almost to the point of watching the final round here.
Yeah.
This is our final player that's going to go on to the round of 16.
Yeah, this is a good day for Zerg players so far. We have one Zerg player advancing. We could have two, potentially.
Yeah.
One Protoss is already out. Sorry for Paralyze. Didn't bring the Afro today, man.
Those games were so awesome, man.
They were really good.
It was really fun to see 3 very dynamic games.
Yeah, very different,
guys.
very interesting. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but I feel like RorO, with the momentum he has here especially and his good decision-making, I think he's going to take this final best of 3.
Well, RorO just looks overall solid. I liked Stats' build, but the way that today turned out, everybody's, if you're a Zerg, your ZVP's on the table. If you're a Protoss, your PVZ's on the table.
Yeah.
It looked like Stats had some really cool builds that would catch the Zerg off guard, and maybe he's got some more tricks up his sleeve. RorO's play is just overall well-rounded, solid, reactive Zerg. And usually the more games you play against somebody who tends to be a little bit more tricky, you tend to win more in the long run with solid reactive play and scouting.
You know, when I looked at these matches today, I expected both of these players to get out of the group. It did not happen that way.
Me too,
Curious just played like a god today. And
well, I think Curious surprised everybody.
RorO's first series against Stats, he played like very aggressive, almost like he didn't respect Stats. And then like in the game he played defensively, he just droned up too heavily. Like he just got owned basically. The only game he won was a Zergling attack where he just caught Stats off guard. Yeah, I feel like he's going to play. I mean, he's already shifted into a different style in the previous series, and I think in this series he's going to play just more reactionary, more stable.
RorO's not just reactive in the game; he's reactive in a day of Code S.
Yeah,
he's making minor tweaks and adjustments to his Zerg, which is really the sign of a champion.
Exactly. He's stabilized quite well, and I think he can take this, but Stats may surprise us. So well, he's getting ready now, putting that headset on, covering his ears.
I mean, I wonder what else Stats is going to do. It's also important to note Stats seem to have a little bit more of a difficult time with his openers, which is surprising for Code S, but RorO and Curious have both managed to get in there with Lings and do a lot of damage, and at times it costed Stats the game. Stats has different types of wall-ins. He seems to be a bit of a corner cutter, a little bit greedy with some of his openers.
Yeah. And
you got to be careful because any well-practiced Zerg will identify those few holes and say, wait a minute, I could probably get 4 Lings over here and do some damage.
Yeah. This is Stats' earlier map pick, Ultrazine Stronghold for game number 1.
He's been confident on this map. Will he be able to beat RorO on it here again? We're going to find out soon here. This is our final best of 3 tonight. And after that, we have the group selection, so stay tuned for that as well here at GOMEXP.
RorO versus Stats.
Okay, well, we have both players hugging the left side of the map.
Yeah, no cross spawns this time. This is the first time we have this. We've had it twice already today, where the opposite was the case. And I wonder if Stats is just going to make Moles walk across the map. I mean, against RorO, it's not a bad choice, actually.
This is by far our biggest map. This map is freaking huge. Easy to get an expansion up here. Now, we did see Stats do this interesting build, which we may see him do again here. A very safe Nexus into Forge, with a cannon there, also covered by the gateway.
Yeah.
And really just getting 1 Zealot and 1 Sentry, and then just tacking up incredibly. No pressure whatsoever out of him.
Yeah, he just makes 1 cannon at the top of his ramp and 1 Zealot, and then gets his Sentry even very late.
This Overlord's going to have to fly up a little bit here.
Yeah.
Mid-air collision. Don't want that.
Wait, be careful.
Whoa. Whoa. That was close.
Looks
like he's about to scrape his belly on this thing.
Yeah. Scratch his little tentacles on that, that structure. There's no Overlord doctors nearby, no Queens or transfuses.
I don't even know if that Overlord has health insurance.
Probably not, man. He's the first Overlord, you know? Like, there's not a big economy on this map at that point in time.
So, we have the Forge now. And the gate will come after that. And what's interesting about this is you can see Stats has really accepted the map for what it is. It's big, so the pressure builds and Protoss are usually rendered pretty impotent.
Yeah.
Now, luckily here for RorO, he's going to get the scout off right away. You ever notice that all the buildings that are doodads on these maps are bigger than the normal buildings in the game?
That's true.
They should just really like take over some of these buildings in the low ground. I bet there's a lot of great infrastructure down there.
Yeah,
look at that. That's what? That's at least 15 floors, man. You know how many Protoss can live in that apartment building?
Yeah, look at this. It's like a Xel'Naga watchtower that became a Xel'Naga Nexus.
Yeah.
That's when we get the 4th race in StarCraft III in Xel'Naga. And everybody's really upset about it and argues about it on the internet for a few weeks.
Yeah. Someone on the internet is wrong.
I remember when multiple building selection was like revealed, that debate for quite some time.
For eternity.
That is still discussed today.
It is, actually. So we have the Zerg going for the 3 hatches and having a few lings out here. I don't believe he's going to make more than, let's say, 4 to 6 because there's no real need, especially that we see that Stats already plays a very passive style early on, aiming to really do the damage in the direct mid-game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I want to see how RorO plays because last time he like droned up like crazy, then just got annihilated. You know, he got owned by that push. I think we're going to see a very different game out of him this time. I mean, this map has the most passive early game of any map because it's basically like Calm Before the Storm 2.0, free backdoor expansion, huge map. I mean, you might as well just call this map Calm Before the Storm. It's so similar in every way.
He's got the Stargate coming up here. Now, we saw him use Phoenixes before. Stats loves his Phoenix openings. Yeah. I really did like his, what was it, like 7 or 8 gates?
Yeah.
Timing attack here.
It was a solid timing.
With the 3 Immortals, I mean, massive cutting of probes there.
Yeah, he stayed at 45 the whole time. He uses the Phoenixes to clear up the map, make sure there's no vision of what he's doing, which makes it very annoying for RorO. He has to make Zerglings to actually scout, which is, you know, they're never going to get the main.
If he does that build, I mean, will it work twice, excuse me?
I don't think so. That's why I don't think he's going to do it. He could, but RorO played extremely greedy the previous time, and I thought even with how greedy he played, he was still going to hold because he had so much production, he had so much economy, but Stats proved me wrong. I think we're going to see a different build here from Stats, but he's going to kill these Overlords before he shows us anything else. How many? So, yeah, he's just going to... I mean, the second Overlord is like on the right side of the map because he knows that this one's not really identifying anything.
It could be a little bit trickier to try to catch the Overlords on this map because it actually is so big, your Phoenix might just graze by one. But...
there's the Robo.
Okay, so I think he's going to do the same build, Wolf.
He's already gone to more probes than he did before, but he could certainly still do it, just with like a little bit better economy behind it. He could also just make Colossi and take the 3rd. We've seen him do that in other matches. I don't know. Spore Car is being added now. He's not cutting corners on that.
Yeah, he's getting that Rotor in there, and there's the Evo.
Second Rotor.
Now, last time we saw RorO just got a little bit too greedy. He didn't really anticipate a build like this coming out. Now, if it is the same build, we'll start having Immortals Crota boosted out very quickly here. Nice job just shaving off drones here and there.
I don't think he's going to do it. He's gone to 50 probes now. He hasn't cut, and...
we're waiting for what's going to happen from the Robo here.
Just
okay, so he's going to go with that other build. The one I don't know if I totally agree with for this map. He's going to get a 3rd out pretty quickly here with Colossi to cover it.
Basically,
now,
if you do this build, you're just saying, like, I'm going to let the Zerg play late game because the map is so big and I can't punish the Zerg.
You're not really doing pushes on this map with Colossi across the whole map and actually just shutting Zerg down. So, yeah, I mean, the Protoss, obviously this Protoss knows that. So what Zerg's most likely going to do is go into Mutas from here. Now, the one nice thing about an opener like this is the Protoss do get Phoenixes out here early on so that Mutas can't really be used. If they are used, Protoss already had preempted the answer. But the problem for me when I look at this is I don't see how Protoss continues to then shut down more Zerg bases, which is what happens in the late game.
It's difficult if the Zerg is very on top of static defense at all the bases, which at this level, you know, RorO has already shown us that he is. He's getting burrow movement and roach speed at the same time. Probably, well, you know what? Actually, he may have made those 2 roach warrens intentionally at the same time. But he's getting both upgrades, and he might hit a +1 roach burrow movement timing here at the third base.
It absolutely could happen. It's actually really smart because
he's actually going to hit a
It's funny
timing
because
here.
I really thought RorO was just going to do a very, very passive play, but no, you know, he can just do a very basic timing here on the third.
+1 burrow movement roaches. Who would have thought? You know, does he have? First of all, I don't think he has an observer, and
yeah, he does.
Okay, no, he sees it as well. Okay, this is huge. Okay, so now he's going to be able to pull that observer back and stop this attack. That roach looks so silly like that. It's in shark mode in the air. Well, he cannot force field these out.
This is just bad. Oh, this just hurts to watch.
Yeah, I mean, he's not.
This
really
is kind of like
face
facepalm right now.
Yeah,
that's really bad. Now Zerg is still massing up a lot of roaches.
Yeah, the third base is still a little bit exposed.
Zerg is massing up quite nicely here, but
I mean,
maybe he will get Protoss out of position here. There's only one observer.
Yeah, he's gonna get some pro kills here. He's actually sneaked into the main base again,
and then he's coming up over here to hit the Nexus at the same time. It looks like this Colossus spread is just good enough that, I mean, I don't know, how effective is this really going to be?
Well, I mean, there's just a huge tech advantage for the Protoss right now.
Yeah.
But he's killing some probes here, and this is not an adequate defense. He's still losing a lot. He's going to maybe lose his Colossus. I don't think so.
Actually, I don't know. Well, maybe it's attack from behind here. No. Fancy feet Colossus gets out. Fancy footwork Colossus here. No, in fact, excuse me, I am wrong. He does get shut down.
He was an avid watcher of that Penguin movie, Happy Feet.
So, the problem is that if Protoss stabilizes here, and Zerg is kind of stuck on this somewhat primitive tech.
Yeah, it's weird.
But
I mean, you know what? He's starting to get some momentum here, I feel.
Yeah, he might send these 3 roaches down there to the back expansion. Well, does this work?
It's starting to work. I mean, look at the supplies here. The Protoss just doesn't have the production to keep up right now. And the roaches have consistently done small bits of damage.
You know, the problem is that he doesn't have enough observers. He has 2 out now. He doesn't seem to be able to keep track of all these roaches, though.
Yeah, you know, when you're losing those Colossi, you have to remake those. But if you're remaking Colossi, then you don't have observers. And here we go. They're in the problem. That Colossus's feet were not fancy at all.
No, he takes that out. Again, this is kind of cool. I guess this might just work. Zerg is almost maxed out, by the way.
Yeah.
Just on 3 base roach here. As you can see, the Protoss now with 52 probes.
He's just consistently doing damage. I don't know how long he's going to keep this up as the void rate count gets higher. He needs to make sure he saves these Colossi. That's the most important thing right now, and he is consistently losing them. He needs to stop losing
those. That might
those.
just be enough roaches. Okay, I think he actually just did it.
Yeah. That Colossus being gone, I think you're right, man. If he defends the Colossi better, this is a different story.
Yeah, he was never quite able to stabilize here. I mean, you can see Warpits over there, and I think Stats is starting to realize as well, it just seems like there's just too much here. You can see now the roaches are just kind of overwhelming the front here, and GG, victory there for RorO. Simply put, better multitasking. 2 Roach Warren timing attack. That was a pretty cool attack. I feel like the micro from Stats was very lacking. Some of the Colossus mistakes that he made were just almost unforgivably bad. You know, like the rally into the roaches. One of the problems was that he didn't have the observers to know where the roaches were, so the roaches were catching the Colossi. But if you lose your Colossus, you need to remake that. And if you're doing that, you're not making the observer. You only have 1 Robo, so that was a cool attack. I did not expect that to do as well as it did. Heavy Rain is the choice here for Stats. This could be our final map if RorO continues to play this well. RorO has really adjusted quite well. I did not, honestly, I don't know about you, I did not expect you to do that Ro32 on that map.
No, yeah.
I mean, it
that
didn't
map
even
of
seem,
all maps,
it didn't even seem necessary to do on that map, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if Stats takes that third and has Phoenixes, then you get your fourth and fifth up, and then you just have a massive air army, and then you get the sixth up like we saw him do before. I was actually curious to do that before.
Yeah.
And you just kind of win with Corruptors and Mutas, but I guess that unexpected strat was a pretty smart move there from RorO, because it totally caught Stats off guard. Stats even saw it for a second with the Observer before it got there, but it was just too much going on for Stats to really handle.
Yeah, not enough Observers, not enough vision.
You know, it's funny because when I saw the Roaches go up past the burrowed cannon, I'm thinking, okay, well, no way this works, right?
Yeah.
But RorO's just that good. Now on to game number 2 here. Remember, the winner is in the round of 16. The loser is out of the GSL Code S.